Hello, welcome to Calculoid webinar. Today we are going to talk about integrations and how you can integrate your calculators with Google Sheets and Salesforce platform using Zapier. First of all, you need to set an account on Zapier and accept our invite link to start using Calculoid on Zapier. This invite link can be found in the description to this video and also on our documentation page on our website. So once you have an account on Zapier and invited our accept link, you can start using the integrations and you can integrate your calculators with different platforms. Today I would like to start with Google Sheets integration. I've prepared a simple example of a calculator which can be integrated with Google Sheets, and I'm sorry. So to start the integration, we need to go to my Zaps page and click on Make a Zap. In the first page, which is called Trigger part or Trigger step, we need to choose Calculoid as a trigger app. We can find Calculoid in search. Then we need to choose trigger event. Please always choose calculator webhook call on calculator submission. This means that the webhook to Zapier and all the data will be sent when someone submits your calculator by clicking on send result field or by using the payment field. So we defined Calculoid as our trigger app and we defined trigger event as calculator webhook. Now we can press continue. In this part we need to connect our Calculoid account. There is one very important thing about connecting your account. If you'll go to my profile page, you will see two API keys. This one, the shorter one, is used for the embed. So this API key you see here is used only to embed your calculators on the web page. To connect to Zapier, to connect your Calculoid account to Zapier, you need to use this longer API key, which is called API key header. You can copy this API key, go back to setting the Zap, and here you can choose one of the accounts if you have one connected, or you can scroll down and press on add a new account. In the new window, in this field here, you simply paste the API key from your profile page and press continue. Okay, the account is connected, so we can move on. Now we need to choose the calculator we want to connect. I have covered a few of them, so it may take time. If you also have a lot of calculators, you can use search. So you can simply type the calculator you want to find. In case it won't find your calculator straight away, you can press on this button here. It will check all the calculators once again and show you the calculators based on what you entered in the search panel. So here I would like to connect this calculator. It is this one I've already shown you. Oh, I'm sorry, just not actually this one. Let's do it once again. Sorry, it should be this one. Now we can move on. In this part, you can send a test to Calculoid to see if you've connected everything correctly and if there's any errors. You can skip the test, but I strongly recommend you to press on the test and continue button to run the test and see if there is any issues. Okay, so now you can see that the trigger part, I'm sorry for its incoming call. Now you can see that the trigger part is set, and we can move on to the second part, which is called action part. And here you need to choose the application which you want to connect to your calculator. In my case, it's Google Sheets. Let's choose this one. Now you need to define action event. So what will happen once the data is sent from Calculoid to Google Sheets? There are quite a few variables you can choose from. I want to pick create spreadsheet row. This action means that once the data is pulled from Calculoid to Google Sheets, it will simply create a new row in your spreadsheet. Press continue. In this step, you need to connect your account. You can simply click on add new account, and here you can use general Google login page to connect one of your accounts. However, I have my account already connected to Zapier, so I will just use one of the accounts connected. Press on continue. In this step, you need to define where the file is. So you need to define the path to your file on your Google Drive, or to define the path to your Google Drive, and also to define which file it is and in which spreadsheet you are currently working. So where is the table, other words. My file is stored on my Google Drive, so I pick this option. Then I need to pick a spreadsheet, which is called data from Calculoid in my case. And then I need to define a worksheet. I have just one in this file, so it's an easy choice, but in case you have more of them, sure, you need to pick up the ones needed for this integration. Once you define the path to the file and to your worksheet, Zapier will automatically pull all the columns you have in your table here, so you can match your fields in Calculoid to the fields in the table in Google Sheets. Let me show what I mean. Here is my table in Google Sheets, and here I have some columns which is called plan, number of users, help desk, etc. The Zapier pulls all the columns here and let me match each column with a particular field from my calculator. So let's match all the fields. So column plan in my table, I want it to be matched with pick a plan field in my calculator. That's why I've chosen pick a plan field in the plan column. In this way, you need to define all the columns in your Google Sheet, so you need to match all the fields. Let me quickly do this. It is always quicker to use the search panel rather than to just scroll down and search for fields. Once you've matched all the fields with the columns in your Google Sheet, you can continue. Here you can check all the data pull from Calculoid, and here I want to notice one also very important thing. When you match a formula field with some columns in Google Sheets and you send a test, you will see the formula running in the formula field. However, once you finish setting your Zap and the Zap will be running and your final user, your clients will submit your calculator, it will pull the value from the formula field. So once you finish the Zap, it will pull the values from your formula field, not the actual formula running in it. So let's run test. And okay, so the test was sent correctly and our Zap is ready. Let's check in our table. As you can see, all the data from my calculator were pulled in the table. Now we can press on Done Editing. Our Zap is ready. We need to turn it on. Okay, so the Zap is on. It means that from this moment, when someone submits your calculator, all the data will be pulled in your table. Let's go to my Zaps page and create a new Zap and connect my other calculator to Salesforce. This is a calculator I want to connect to the Salesforce platform. It's just a simple calculator generating lead, and I want it to connect to Salesforce and to have all the leads in the leads section. I mean all the leads from the calculator in the leads section. The first part is always the same. You need to click on Make a Zap. Choose Calculoid as the trigger application, as the trigger application. Choose Calculator Webhook. Connect your account using the longer API key. Choose calculator you want to connect. And run the tests. When you set the integrations with the Zapier, the trigger step, the trigger part is always the same. You need to choose calculator as the trigger application. As the trigger application. Then you need to choose calculator webhook as the trigger event. Then you need to connect your Calculoid account, choose the calculator, and run the test. It's always the same. And the And the second part, the action part, will differ based on the application you want to connect. This time it will be Salesforce. And here you need to choose action event. I want to create a lead. However, you can choose add a lead to a campaign, create custom object, or pick one of the variables you have here. You can also create tasks, campaigns, accounts, etc. In my case, it's just lead. Continue. Choose account. Here you need to connect an account. Basically, if you'll click on add a new account, when you first set the integration with Salesforce, it will ask you for your credentials, the email, the login basically, and the password. However, once you've done this, it will just ask that Zapier ask for an access to your Salesforce account. You can simply press yes, continue, or if you set in this for a first time, you'll need to add the login and password information. Once this is done, you can press on continue button. And here we need to again match the fields from your calculator with the columns in the Salesforce. The only difference between Salesforce and Google Sheets in this step is that here you have a predefined columns. It's basically the fields that are in the Salesforce platform. Whereas when you create in a table in the Google Sheets, you can create custom columns and match it with the calculator. So we need to add here last name, and in my case it's full name field in my calculator, this one. Company, I will leave the optional fields, all the optional fields I will leave blank except the email one. Let me just check. Send me results. Send me results. So all the other fields, I don't need them and I will leave them blank. As you can see, I filled in just two required fields, which is last name and company. And also I filled the email, which is an optional field. If you have fields to match in your calculator and you want to do it, you can match all the fields like city, country, first name, industry, etc. with the fields, with the columns in Salesforce. Once you've done this, you just need to press continue. Wait a little bit for the Zapier to... Oh, okay, great, here it is. Again, in this final step, you can check the information pulled from Calculoid into Zapier, and then you need to press test and continue. Once again, I strongly recommend you to never skip tests, because they really do help with finding issues before you actually set the Zap on. As you can see, our test was successful. Let's check it in our Salesforce platform. And here is the lead. Let's go back to the Zap and press on Done Editing. Zap is ready. You just need to turn it on. Okay, the Zap is on, which means that once the calculator is submitted, all the data will be sent to Salesforce. Click on Go to My Zap page, and here you can see all the Zaps running at the moment. You can turn them off if you wish, or can turn them on or off. Oops, some problems. Okay, so this is basically it for the integrations. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, all right. No questions? Well, thank you for joining us today, and thank you.